It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both. Presence is your silent army, and every interaction is a battlefield. You occupy space, not with words, but with controlled energy, with a gaze that measures intent and a posture that communicates command. Consider every social room, every meeting, every corridor of influence as terrain to be mapped and surveyed. The enemy is not a person, but the chaos of distraction, the weak currents of uncontrolled emotion, and the unseen undermining of attention. Only when strategy demands it. Otherwise, let stillness signal authority. Every movement, every pause, every slight shift in expression is a message that communicates far more than words ever could. Your mind is the throne. Guard it as a general guards the citadel before battle. Distractions as spies attempting to infiltrate your command. Unnecessary chatter is artillery revealing your position. Observe the landscape of conversation and presence with precision. Anticipate reactions before they surface. When disagreement arises, do not escalate. Remain unmoved, acknowledging perspectives calmly but without yielding authority. Let them feel the weight of your attention, not your words. The cost of noise is exposure. The reward of silence is influence. A nod, a measured pause, a slow, deliberate breath. These are the tools of command. In the invisible battlefield of social interaction, others often attempt to seize territory with volume, opinion, or haste. You respond differently, with stillness. Let others commit their moves openly, revealing strategy and weaknesses. Maintain vigilance over your expressions. Your eyes can mark threats. Your stance can project power. Presence is a weapon, sharper than any argument, more enduring than fleeting charm. Historical leaders understood this principle. Caesar's glance, a prince's quiet judgment, these conveyed absolute control without a single word. You too can cultivate this same dominance through attention and poise. When someone challenges your authority, respond with calculated restraint. Do not argue. Align your body, your voice, and your attention into one coherent signal of command. A micro example. During a team disagreement, allow the dissenting voice to fully articulate while maintaining unwavering calm. Listen, absorb, and let your silence shift the room's energy. Authority lies not in interrupting, but in allowing others to reveal their positions while you remain unshakable. They sense your patience, your assessment, and the quiet certainty that your throne is unassailable. Weak. I think you might be wrong. Strong. I understand your point. We will proceed differently. Silence magnifies presence. Each moment of stillness communicates confidence, discipline, and inevitability. Your attention becomes a spotlight, focusing on what matters and letting distractions dissolve into insignificance. Control your expressions, gestures, and breathing. Let every micro-movement project intent, not hesitation. Train your mind to anticipate outcomes without vocalization. Let mental preparation replace the need for argument. When fear, respect, and loyalty are your objectives, words become liabilities. Your posture, gaze, and calm decisiveness become the instruments of influence, shaping perception before any dialogue begins. Command requires constant awareness. Assess the energy of a room like a general surveying terrain. Notice subtle shifts, the ripple of emotion, the tension of uncertainty. Respond with deliberate gestures, brief acknowledgements, and measured attention. These small acts convey immense authority. People often mirror the presence they encounter. When you are steady, others adjust to your pace and weight. Your influence spreads silently, organically, without coercion. This is the power of silent dominance. You need not speak to govern the flow of interaction or the respect of those around you. Mastery of silence demands practice. Begin in small moments, meetings, briefings, casual encounters. Watch how stillness redirects conversation, how focused attention compels alignment. Learn to measure breathing, posture, and subtle expressions as extensions of command. Your voice becomes a tool used sparingly, delivering precision rather than noise. The battlefield of influence favors the prepared, the calm, and the unyielding. Observation and restraint are your primary weapons. Victory lies in shaping outcomes invisibly, guiding others without overt direction. Every interaction is an opportunity to reinforce your throne. Recognize when to move and when to remain immovable. Let others reveal intentions, positions, and weaknesses through their actions and speech. Your role is to observe, assess, and occupy presence. Respect emerges naturally from those who sense your unshakable focus and controlled energy. Fear, in its productive form, is acknowledgement of capability and discipline, not intimidation. Your silence projects the certainty that your throne is secure, that your strategy is sound, that your influence is absolute. Carry this principle into daily life. Each glance, pause, or deliberate action communicates authority. Avoid verbal overreach. Allow silence to speak. Presence becomes a signature, commanding attention and compliance effortlessly. Let the room bend subtly to your rhythm, your unspoken rules. Others adjust, not through coercion, but through recognition of your preparedness and calm dominion. In the end, the power of silent dominance is not in what you say, but in the certainty that you command the space you occupy. Your closing mantra, I move unseen, I command unshakable. Your mind is the throne upon which all influence rests. Every thought, every decision is a pillar supporting the weight of silent dominance. Begin by crowning your thoughts, observing the patterns of behavior around you, and anticipating movements like a ruler surveying a kingdom under siege. Do not allow impulsive reactions to erode authority. Measure every choice, weighing consequences as a general considers troop positions before committing to battle. Recognize that mental clarity is your primary weapon, sharper than any spoken argument. Guard your attention like a fortress under constant threat. Distractions are enemy spies, slipping past your walls, attempting to fragment focus and dilute control. Each interruption or wandering thought is a breach. Repair it with deliberate practice and disciplined boundaries. The capacity to sustain focus transforms ordinary observation into strategic intelligence, allowing you to identify opportunities before others recognize them. Sovereign judgment comes from consistent, deliberate decision-making. Do not act out of impulse, anger, or the pressures of social expectation. Consider each interaction a chessboard. Every conversation a move that must serve a larger objective. When others challenge your authority, respond not with haste, but with calculated calm. A micro example, in a meeting where a colleague disputes your approach, listen fully, acknowledge their point with a measured nod, then outline your plan without defensive language. Weak. I think your idea is wrong. Strong. I understand your perspective. We will proceed with this approach. This is not a concession. It is command communicated through poise, not volume. Train your mind to observe, record, and synthesize information without distraction. Recognize the flow of influence, noting subtle shifts in tone, posture, and attention as intelligent signals. Each observation strengthens your throne, giving you the foresight to act strategically rather than react emotionally. Crown your thoughts by prioritizing clarity over opinion, analysis over impulse. Transform mental space into a disciplined command center, free from noise, fortified by focus. Your decisions become deliberate strikes, precise and impactful, while others stumble through hesitation or distraction. This is the essence of sovereign authority, presence of mind that governs without force, influence that radiates without utterance. Do not underestimate the cost of neglecting mental discipline. A scattered mind invites errors, diminishes respect, and reveals weaknesses to those attuned to strategy. Conversely, mastery over thought secures the throne and projects unshakable authority. Guard your internal landscape with relentless attention. Treat every fleeting idea as a potential threat or advantage. Recognize the battlefield within before seeking to command outside. Discipline your mental environment. As a general fortifies supply lines, vital for sustaining power and influence. The stronger your internal fortification, the more effortlessly your presence shapes outcomes beyond words. Command your mind daily through practice. Begin each day with intentional focus, mapping priorities and anticipating interactions. Strengthen observation and foresight through deliberate reflection, noting where attention wavered and where strategy succeeded. Develop the habit of pausing before action, ensuring that every response aligns with your objectives. Let your throne be a center of calm calculation, a place where clarity reigns and distractions are expelled. Allow others to reveal their intentions while you assess, plan, and position silently. Your mind is both armory and a strategy room, and mastery over it is the foundation of all silent dominance. Carry the discipline of your thoughts into every interaction. Your calm observation signals authority, your decisive mental clarity projects influence. Train relentlessly, protect your focus, and let your inner throne guide your every move. In moments of pressure or dissent, remember that the battle is won internally before it manifests externally. Mental sovereignty is the precursor to respect, fear, and quiet authority in the world around you. Your closing mantra: my mind is my throne, my command is absolute. The morning is your battlefield, and the first hours are your initial offensive. Begin before the world stirs, fortifying focus and discipline like a general musters troops before dawn. Each moment of early preparation sets the tone for the entire day, establishing control over energy, attention, and intention. The enemy is the chaos of distraction, the pull of convenience, and the lingering residue of unpreparedness. Strike first with decisive rituals that reinforce readiness, commanding the day rather than reacting to it. Observation, planning, and physical presence become your weapons before words are even spoken. Start with a first light offensive. Use the early hours to fortify both mind and body. Meditation, focused breathing, or deliberate movement sharpens awareness, ensuring clarity before challenges arise. Mental preparation is reconnaissance. Survey the day as a commander studies terrain, noting potential friction points, influential individuals, and areas of risk. Identify where resistance might appear and where influence can be extended. Anticipate interactions strategically, positioning yourself to respond with authority and calm decisiveness. The early hours allow you to structure priorities, set intentions, and internalize a rhythm that projects unshakable presence to everyone you encounter. Daily reconnaissance extends beyond thought into careful planning. Map your engagements as a general plot, maneuvers across contested ground. Recognize which encounters demand patience and which require decisive action. When conflict arises, respond with measured control. A micro example: a colleague challenges your proposed approach in a morning briefing. Observe their tone and body language, acknowledge their perspective briefly, then execute your plan without defensiveness. Weak: maybe you're right, let's rethink. Strong: I see your point, we will proceed according to this strategy. By positioning yourself in advance, the battle is already half won before dialogue begins. Ritual armor is the final layer of morning preparation. Physical routines, exercise, posture drills, or grounding movements sharpen your presence and signal readiness to the world. Mental rituals, journaling, reflection, or strategic review fortify focus, ensuring the mind is an impenetrable fortress. Each ritual conditions your body and mind to respond with calm authority, transforming ordinary habits into tools of influence. Presence becomes perceptible. Others sense preparedness even without explicit signals. The combination of early action, strategic assessment, and ritualized practice ensures that your daily battlefield favors your control, influence, and unspoken authority. The cost of neglecting morning discipline is subtle yet severe. Scattered energy, diminished focus, and reduced authority. Conversely, a structured start establishes momentum, primes decision-making, and enhances credibility. Fortify your morning as a commander fortifies supply lines. The day is shaped not by events, but by preparation. Recognize that influence begins internally. Victory outside is impossible without internal mastery. Train rigorously, observe keenly, and engage deliberately. Let your morning establish dominance before interaction begins. Carry this principle into every sunrise. Begin each day with purpose, observing, planning, and fortifying mind and body. Control your environment and your routines. Let your presence radiate readiness and authority. Influence, respect, and quiet command stem from disciplined preparation. When others awaken to the chaos of reactive behavior, you move with deliberate, measured certainty. Command your morning and you command the day. Your closing mantra, I conquer the dawn, the day obeys. Stillness is a weapon more precise than any blade, more commanding than words spoken hastily. In every interaction, the pause can serve as a trap, forcing others to reveal intentions, weaknesses, and unspoken agendas. Hesitation is not vulnerability. It is a calculated strategy. When you cultivate control over movement, tone, and timing, your silence becomes a presence that communicates authority, compelling attention and respect without utterance. Each measured breath, each deliberate shift in posture, conveys command far more effectively than arguments or explanations. The pause is your first tool. In conversation or negotiation, resist the urge to fill silence. Allow others to speak, to expose gaps in reasoning or emotional impulses. Observe carefully, absorb the signals, and respond only when your advantage is clear. Silent observation amplifies influence. Your restraint sets the tempo and projects certainty. Weak, rushing to answer. Strong, withholding response until clarity emerges. This is not indecision, it is strategic patience, an essential skill for anyone seeking unspoken authority. Presence over words is your second instrument. Your aura communicates more than any argument. Stand with poise. Hold your gaze with steady confidence and position yourself in a manner that signals readiness and control. Let others reveal themselves through speech while you remain composed and vigilant. The room adjusts to your rhythm. Influence flows through perception. Your silence allows your authority to saturate the environment, shaping decisions and behaviors without coercion or proclamation. Silent pressure is the third layer of mastery. Controlled absence of words creates tension that compels compliance. A quiet glance, a measured pause before action, or the deliberate pacing of steps can communicate decisiveness and dominance. People instinctively align with those who exhibit calm, unwavering authority, especially when others hesitate or overcommit. This pressure is not fear in its cruel form, but respect born from recognition of competence and discipline. Harness it to guide outcomes without confrontation, to shape behavior through the potency of presence alone. Practice this skill in everyday encounters. Start with small interactions, meetings, phone calls, or brief exchanges. Observe the effects of restrained response. of letting silence draw information from others. Notice how calm observation shifts dynamics, subtly compelling others to comply or reveal insights they might otherwise conceal. Through repetition, stillness becomes instinctive, a tool of influence wielded effortlessly. Your mind and body act in unison, projecting readiness, control, and authority. Neglecting stillness exposes vulnerability. Reactivity, noise, and haste signal insecurity, inviting challenge and diminishing influence. Conversely, mastery of silence enhances perception, strengthens presence, and cultivates respect. Internalize the principle that calm, controlled observation governs outcomes more effectively than forceful assertion. Let your movements, posture, and gaze communicate authority, allowing silence to dictate tempo, reveal strategy, and establish dominance. Your closing mantra, stillness commands all. Influence is a kingdom, and threats are spies in your midst. Recognize them before they compromise authority. Detect weak links by observing behavior patterns. Those who undermine respect, spread subtle discontent, or consistently challenge decisions without constructive purpose. These individuals are not mere obstacles, they are vulnerabilities in your command structure. Awareness is your first line of defense. Study interactions carefully, noting inconsistencies, hidden agendas, and breaches of trust. The sharpest leaders see threats before they manifest, neutralizing risk through observation, discernment, and strategic foresight. Strategic removal is the next step. Not every threat requires confrontation. Distance, reassignment, or subtle reallocation of influence can neutralize danger without overt conflict. Battles are often won before they start through preparation, discretion, and calculated decisions. Recognize when engagement will create unnecessary exposure or distraction. By addressing risks quietly, you maintain authority while avoiding the escalation that can erode respect or focus. The most effective leaders remove obstacles with precision, leaving no trace of panic or disorder in their wake. Weak, public reprimand. Strong, private adjustment that neutralizes risk and preserves authority. Psychological shielding reinforces your sphere of influence. Establish and enforce clear boundaries, both personal and professional, to protect focus and presence. Your authority must be perceptible. Subtle shifts in behavior, tone, or access signal that your domain is governed and not to be exploited. Observe closely, adjusting strategy as dynamics shift. Encourage loyalty through recognition and consistency, while quietly discouraging those who challenge stability. Influence thrives in environments where boundaries are clear and power is understood without overt coercion. Micro-example: when a colleague repeatedly challenges decisions in team meetings, acknowledge input with brief, composed statements. Then follow through with your strategic plan without reactive defense. Weak, arguing point by point. Strong, maintaining calm authority and allowing the structure of decisions to speak for itself. This communicates command while neutralizing dissent without drama, preserving cohesion and respect. Neglecting ruthless elimination invites disruption, erodes authority, and reduces the effectiveness of silent influence. Vigilance is constant. The battlefield is not static. Continuously assess allies and adversaries and act decisively when necessary. Mastery is found not in confrontation but in preemptive, controlled action. Protect your influence by removing threats quietly, reinforcing your domain, and ensuring that respect flows unchallenged. Authority is a living system requiring consistent attention and selective, precise intervention. Carry this principle into daily practice. Maintain awareness of weak links, act strategically to neutralize threats, and reinforce boundaries with clarity. Let your presence radiate authority and your actions communicate strength without overt conflict. Your command is strengthened when potential disruption is addressed before it becomes visible. By eliminating threats ruthlessly yet discreetly, you cultivate an environment where influence is uncontested and respect is earned through observation, action, and calm, unwavering leadership. Your closing mantra: I remove threats before they rise. Authority is not always spoken. It is worn, carried, and projected. The mask of command transforms presence into influence. Conceal intentions behind an unreadable face, allowing ambiguity to create both fear and respect. Your expressions reveal nothing, forcing others to guess your plans and commit errors in response. Ambiguity is a weapon. The uncertainty it generates compels caution and elevates your perceived power. Practice stillness in micro-expressions, ensuring that subtle movements do not betray emotion or strategy. Let your calm intensity signal readiness and mastery, projecting authority without utterance. Controlled body language is your second instrument of silent command. Each gesture, step, and stance conveys intention and dominance. Stand with deliberate posture, move with measured precision, and let your presence occupy space decisively. Avoid unnecessary motion. Restraint communicates power more effectively than excess. Even in disagreement, maintain composure. Micro-example: a colleague challenges your perspective in a meeting. Acknowledge calmly with a slight nod, then return attention to the agenda. Weak, reacting immediately or defensively. Strong, maintaining posture and rhythm, letting authority speak through presence. Each movement becomes a chess move, asserting control over dynamics and influencing behavior subtly yet effectively. Command the atmosphere. Influence the energy of the room. As a predator shapes the environment through mere presence, your positioning, gaze, and cadence set the pace of interactions, guiding decisions and behavior without words. Observe shifts in tension, adjusting your stance and focus to reinforce control. Let your presence dictate the tempo, compelling alignment while remaining unobtrusive. Influence grows where authority is sensed, not demanded. Subtle modulation of energy and posture creates compliance without coercion. Treat the environment as an extension of your throne, every action deliberate, every silence strategic. Ambiguity, control, and energy modulation combine to create the mask of command. Authority becomes inseparable from your being, radiating influence without verbalization. Master this skill by practicing intentional movements, observing reactions, and refining presence. The more consistent and deliberate your control, the more automatic respect becomes. Position yourself as both observer and arbiter, allowing others to navigate your space while remaining in command of outcomes. Presence, posture, and silence are your arsenal. Use them to project power that others instinctively acknowledge and follow. Neglecting the mask allows transparency to erode influence. Expression, posture, and energy signal strength or weakness. Misalignment invites challenge. Conversely, mastery cultivates unspoken authority, shaping perception and behavior effortlessly. Every movement, gaze, and subtle shift communicates dominance, crafting an environment where respect, fear, and compliance emerge naturally. Let your persona become a living emblem of power, commanding attention, dictating tempo, and projecting unwavering influence across any space. Carry this principle into every interaction. Maintain a controlled expression, purposeful posture, and strategic modulation of energy. Let the room bend subtly to your rhythm. Influence flows where authority is sensed, not demanded. Your silent command is unassailable because it is grounded in consistent, deliberate presence and intentional ambiguity. Your closing mantra: I wear authority, the room obeys. Decisiveness is a weapon, and within you lies the inner assassin, trained to act with precision and without hesitation. Hesitation allows obstacles to grow. Delayed action invites risk. Cultivate the mental discipline to recognize the exact moment to strike. Whether in thought, strategy, or personal boundaries, each decision must be deliberate, targeted, and efficient. A predator does not waste energy on uncertainty. Its focus is absolute, its action swift, and its aim unerring. Likewise, your internal rigor allows influence to flow unchallenged, silently shaping outcomes before opposition has a chance to respond. Calculated strikes are your first principle. Identify the points of resistance or interference in any environment, whether colleagues, habits, or external pressures. Determine where intervention is necessary and act with timing that maximizes effect, while minimizing exposure. Preemptive action is not aggression, it is strategic prevention. In modern contexts, this might mean addressing underperformance in a project team before delays cascade, or redirecting attention from distractions before they derail priorities. Weak, reacting after problems escalate. Strong, acting deliberately at the precise moment opportunity aligns with necessity. Emotionless execution is your second weapon. Emotions, anger, fear, desire, are vulnerabilities that compromise precision. Mastering self-control ensures that decisions are never clouded by impulse. Observe internal reactions but refrain from allowing them to dictate action. In negotiation, for example, remain composed when others display frustration or attempts at manipulation. Let clarity and calm authority guide your response. Weak, reacting defensively to provocation. Strong, maintaining focus and executing your plan without revealing internal agitation. Controlled detachment amplifies effectiveness, creating a presence that is both intimidating and respected. Precision focus completes the triad. Direct energy like a predator zeroes in on a single target, eliminating distractions that reduce impact. Organize priorities, filter out noise, and allocate attention to areas where influence yields the greatest returns. Micro example: a team member challenges your proposed approach. Listen attentively, absorb the information, then respond with the calculated decision that advances objectives efficiently. Your focus ensures that effort is never diluted, and outcomes align with strategy. The inner assassin thrives in clarity, leveraging concentration as a force multiplier. Neglecting mental discipline exposes weaknesses. Hesitation, reactive emotion, and scattered focus allow disruption, diminish authority, and erode silent influence. Conversely, cultivating decisive, emotionless precision strengthens command. Your internal rigor becomes a weapon, projecting confidence and control that others instinctively recognize. Silence combined with calculated action transforms perception. Influence is exercised without words. Fear and respect are commanded without confrontation, and authority becomes unassailable. Carry this principle into daily life. Identify critical moments. Act with calculated decisiveness. Control internal states and focus energy on precise objectives. Let your inner assassin guide actions with silent efficiency, ensuring that influence, respect, and authority flow naturally from disciplined mastery. Your closing mantra: I strike with precision. Hesitation yields nothing. Power thrives in controlled hunger. The wolf within you represents the raw instincts for survival, dominance, and cunning. Left unchecked, these urges become chaotic and destructive, but mastered, they transform into the engine of silent influence. Channel desire for respect, authority, and mastery into disciplined action. Let ambition sharpen focus, not frenzy. Recognize that hunger without control reveals weakness. The predator that acts impulsively exposes itself to counterattack. Your instincts are allies, not masters, when harnessed with clarity and foresight. Controlled hunger demands deliberate awareness. Desire becomes a strategic resource when directed towards specific objectives. Observe the environment, assess opportunities, and conserve energy for the moments that will maximize impact. Avoid indulgence in trivial competitions or emotional reactions. These dissipate power and reduce credibility. Just as a predator gauges its surroundings before striking, align ambition with timing, patience, and situational intelligence. Weak, chasing every chance immediately. Strong, waiting, observing, and acting with calculated intent to achieve decisive results. Predator's patience reinforces this mastery. Silence and stillness allow you to evaluate, anticipate, and wait for the precise moment to assert influence. Your presence alone becomes a statement of readiness, compelling others to reveal intentions and weaknesses. In social or professional dynamics, this might mean letting colleagues debate or overextend while you remain composed, then moving decisively when leverage is clear. Micro example: a negotiation partner tests boundaries. You maintain calm posture and measured responses, allowing them to exhaust tactics before executing your well-timed strategic decision. Patience converts instinct into effective influence. Strategic aggression completes the framework. Action is not brute force, but the projection of power through presence, reputation, and decisive behavior. Let influence ripple through subtle cues, gaze, posture, timing, and positioning, so that the perception of dominance precedes direct engagement. Controlled, precise, and consistent execution communicates strength without overt confrontation. Your aura, cultivated through observation and disciplined instinct, becomes a tool that commands alignment and discourages opposition. Aggression is expressed metaphorically through calculated initiatives that assert authority and shape outcomes before resistance forms. Neglecting the wolf within leads to scattered effort, rash decisions, and diminished influence. Mastery requires balance. Instincts provide drive and cunning, but discipline channels them towards silent, sustainable dominance. By feeding the wolf strategically, you enhance awareness, cultivate readiness, and maintain control over both self and environment. Your primal energy becomes an instrument of influence, honed by patience, observation, and silent execution. Carry this principle forward. Acknowledge your instincts, channel desire into focus, wait for decisive moments, and project controlled authority. Let your presence signal power, your restraint reflect discipline, and your actions demonstrate precision. Influence grows when the wolf is fed wisely, tempered by strategy and calm command. Your closing mantra: I feed the wolf, it serves my command. Life is a chessboard, and every person, event, and interaction is a piece with predictable movement if observed carefully. To command influence without words, you must see beyond the immediate, calculating moves that extend several steps ahead. Anticipate countermoves before they manifest. Observe intentions in subtle cues, tone, gesture, timing, and use this intelligence to position yourself strategically. Understanding patterns of behavior is the key to maintaining control and preventing others from dictating your trajectory. Weak, reacting impulsively to unexpected actions. Strong, anticipating and adapting before opposition consolidates power. Sacrifice for position is the next principle. Just as a chess player trades a pawn to gain positional advantage, temporary setbacks can secure long-term dominance. Accept short-term loss when it elevates authority, builds credibility, or consolidates resources. This is not submission, but deliberate maneuvering. For instance, allowing a colleague to temporarily lead a minor initiative may earn trust while you orchestrate the broader strategy silently. Each sacrifice is calculated, not reactive, preserving your momentum and ensuring influence is preserved and expanded over time. Multi-level strategy completes the framework. Influence, reputation, and perception are interconnected like chess pieces. Mastery requires integrating them. A single move affects multiple dimensions. A gesture, a decision, or a stance communicates authority while shaping how others perceive you. Ensure consistency in actions and presentation to reinforce your position. Micro-example: during a tense negotiation, maintaining composed posture while subtly redirecting conversation allows you to control outcomes. Project confidence and reinforce authority simultaneously. Strategy operates not only in overt actions, but in the orchestration of subtle signals that advance objectives across multiple planes. Neglecting strategic awareness exposes vulnerability. Reactivity, impulsive decisions, and neglect of long-term positioning allow others to seize control of narrative and influence. Conversely, deliberate calculation enhances silent dominance, projecting foresight and command that others unconsciously respect. Observation, patience, and precise execution create the conditions for influence that require no declaration. Carry this principle forward. Anticipate, position, and integrate every action within a multi-level strategy. Use observation to predict, sacrifice to consolidate, and orchestration to advance. Life unfolds as a board of infinite moves. Mastery lies in seeing, calculating, and executing beyond the surface. Your closing mantra: every move is calculated. I control the board. Strength is forged in routine. Each day presents a battlefield where discipline, endurance, and mental resilience define the victor. Begin with daily trials. Seek minor hardships deliberately, early wake-ups, physical exertion, focused work without distraction. Each obstacle is a stone in the foundation of your throne, a test that teaches patience, endurance, and unwavering resolve. Weak, avoiding challenges to preserve comfort. Strong, embracing friction to sharpen mental edge. Your mind becomes armor, fortified by consistent exposure to adversity, impervious to the chaos others allow to control them. Controlled discomfort is your weapon. Deliberately confront situations that unsettle or push boundaries. Cold exposure, prolonged focus on complex tasks, or voluntary restraint cultivates a response under pressure. The human brain adapts to repeated stress, and disciplined exposure enhances composure in unpredictable environments. Confront tension calmly, remain silent and observant as others react impulsively. Micro-example: during a high-stakes negotiation, resisting the instinct to immediately respond to provocation allows you to guide outcomes while opponents reveal their weaknesses. Each act of self-mastery signals authority without speaking. Ritualized mastery consolidates influence. Daily repetition, mental, physical, and behavior establishes presence. Consistency communicates control, reliability, and dominance. Actions such as maintaining posture, steady pacing, deliberate gestures, or structured planning become unspoken declarations of authority. Observers register your pattern of discipline and internalize respect naturally, unconsciously acknowledging your stability and command. The throne is maintained not through force, but through the visible rhythm of competence and commitment. Neglect these rituals, and susceptibility to distraction, fatigue, and external manipulation grows. Embrace them, and your will hardens like steel, impervious to attempts at destabilization. Build the mind, condition the body, and orchestrate behavior to project unwavering dominance. Each trial faced deliberately, each discomfort controlled, each action ritualized compounds into a presence others instinctively recognize as authority. Carry this forward, endure daily. Embrace controlled friction and ritualize mastery to reinforce unshakable power. Mental resilience becomes the silent throne from which you command. Your closing mantra, discipline is my weapon, my will is iron. True power lies in becoming untouchable. Build psychological armor that neutralizes fear, envy, and gossip before they penetrate your mind. Recognize that others project their insecurities and ambitions onto you, but your mastery begins with internal resilience. Guard thoughts and emotions. Do not allow external turbulence to dictate your reactions. Weak, reacting impulsively to slights. Strong, observing, processing, and maintaining composure. Each measured response reinforces authority, teaching others that your presence cannot be manipulated or coerced. Invisible influence is your next weapon. Your actions, posture, and decisions ripple subtly through social and professional networks, guiding outcomes without overt effort. The predator moves quietly, yet shapes its environment through precise timing and controlled energy. Position yourself deliberately in conversations and environments. Your aura commands attention and subtly dictates behavior. Micro example: in a team meeting, allow others to propose initiatives while calmly steering discussion through strategic interjections. The room adapts to your rhythm without overt control. Your influence is felt, not announced. Legendary silence completes the strategy. Leaders who speak sparingly cultivate anticipation and respect. Unpredictability prevents opponents from exploiting patterns. Ambiguity becomes a shield. Your silence conveys confidence, control, and unassailable authority. Limit disclosure, project composure, and let actions alone define your reputation. People defer to those who are untouchable, not because of intimidation, but because consistency, mastery, and discretion render them impervious to manipulation. Each interaction reinforces your invincibility in perception. Neglecting these disciplines leaves you vulnerable to exploitation and reduces influence to reactive attempts at control. Embrace psychological armor, invisible influence, and legendary silence to become impervious to attacks, manipulations, or envy. Each day, strengthen internal defenses, act with subtle authority, and speak only when it amplifies power. Presence becomes a fortress, unbreachable by distraction, criticism, or aggression. Carry this forward, shield your mind, act invisibly, speak rarely, and command without touch. Your closing mantra: I move unseen, I am untouchable. Every element of power converges when you become the final form of silent dominance. Your mind, body, and presence operate in perfect alignment, a symphony of strategy where thought, gesture, and aura influence outcomes before a word is spoken. Begin by sharpening mental clarity. Anticipate intentions, recognize patterns, and preempt challenges. Weak, reacting after disruption. Strong, perceiving and adjusting before any threat manifests. Command your body with deliberate posture, controlled movements, and measured gestures. Each step communicates authority. Each pause signals consideration and dominance. The battlefield is often the boardroom or social circle, yet strategy remains identical. The invisible throne defines your authority. You occupy space without announcing it. Your presence shapes the environment as if every room, conversation, or decision revolves around you. Silence becomes your loudest declaration, signaling unshakable composure. Micro example: during a tense negotiation, let counterparts speak fully while you maintain calm posture and eye contact. They reveal priorities, vulnerabilities, and intentions. Influence spreads without overt action. Let others perceive decisions as natural consequences of your presence. Your reputation and aura manipulate perceptions more powerfully than rhetoric. Boundaries are respected because they are implicit, not enforced with aggression. Mastery of outcomes requires relentless foresight and disciplined execution. Treat every interaction as a calculated move. Sacrifices, concessions, and strategic patience are tools to consolidate authority. Weak, impulsive reactions to pressure. Strong, measured responses that shift dynamics in your favor. Mental rigor allows you to act decisively at precise moments, removing obstacles quietly and efficiently. Emotional control ensures decisions are not swayed by envy, fear, or desire. Presence projects power silently. Your focus and confidence compel alignment from others. Every action, every gesture, every choice reinforces your dominion without overt declaration. Integrate the principles learned. Morning routines fortify focus. Stillness sharpens perception. Removal of weak links protects influence. And unreadable expression amplifies authority. Controlled aggression, patience, and precision transform natural instincts into strategic advantage. Daily trials, disciplined discomfort, and ritualized mastery cultivate resilience that radiates confidence. Each component converges into a seamless whole where mental, physical, and social mastery multiply as one force. You are untouchable yet active, silent yet commanding. Each micro-move preordains outcomes. Each pause shapes perception. Each decision cements authority. Commit to this synthesis. Align mind, body, and presence. Wield invisible influence. Preempt and control interactions with calculated clarity. Do not seek attention. Let mastery speak through action. Maintain vigilance, discipline, and composure. They are your true weapons. Environments bend to your rhythm. Adversaries hesitate, and allies respect your silent command. You embody authority, not as a display, but as an omnipresent force others recognize instinctively. Closing mantra: I move unseen. I command everything. Every moment is a battlefield where your mind, presence, and actions determine the outcome. Command yourself first, and the world will yield naturally. Begin by observing your routines, posture, and expressions. These are instruments of silent authority. Weak, reacting to every disturbance. Strong, controlling your responses, allowing situations to unfold under your observation. Treat each interaction, each decision, as an opportunity to reinforce influence and fortify your inner throne. Practice stillness when others rush, clarity when others are clouded, and patience when impulsivity surrounds you. Daily application requires vigilance. Integrate awareness into habitual tasks. Walk through crowds, meetings, or conversations as if every space recognizes your authority. Let your posture communicate composure and confidence. Let measured gestures reflect unspoken mastery. Micro example: when interrupted in discussion, pause deliberately, make eye contact, and resume speaking only after absorbing the dynamics. Subtle authority is understood without confrontation. Each day, refine the alignment of mind and body to ensure your aura projects stability, confidence, and silent power. The mantra of command becomes your internal engine. Repeat: I move unseen, I act unstoppable. Let it synchronize thought, posture, and intention. Use it to center focus before high-pressure situations, during mundane routines, or in moments of doubt. This repetition conditions reflexive control and reinforces an invisible dominance that others sense, but cannot name. Weak, relying on words to assert authority. Strong, embodying the mantra, so presence alone compels respect. Your influence is amplified by restraint, clarity, and subtle decisiveness. Eternal vigilance ensures the throne remains unchallenged. Regular reflection on personal strengths, weaknesses, and behaviors is essential. Seek controlled discomfort, small challenges, and disciplined routines to expand resilience. Protect your mental space from envy, gossip, and distraction. Anticipate attempts to unsettle or undermine you and preemptively adjust your strategies. Authority is maintained not through intimidation, but through consistency, composure, and visible mastery of self. Those around you mirror your stability, reinforcing your silent rule. Internalize these principles as daily practice. Treat every action as deliberate, every reaction as controlled. Fortify your mind, refine your presence, and allow your aura to shape outcomes before you speak. Strength and freedom come from mastering your own impulses, thoughts, and posture. Each day, enact the silent sovereignty that commands without display, influences without speech, and rules without force. Your world responds because you lead with internal authority, unshakable focus, and unwavering composure. Closing mantra: I move unseen, I act unstoppable.